Hey, if you've ever wondered what's better, low ticket or high ticket, and ultimately which business model is more profitable, stick around and watch today's video through until the very end, as I'm about to talk about, once again, the difference between low ticket and high ticket, the pros and cons of each, and ultimately which business model is best. As always, if you get value out of this video, don't forget to let me know in the comments section below what your biggest takeaway is. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon notification button so that you're notified when I do more videos just like this. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Welcome to the Misha Wilson Show, where we show you how to create massive success online so you can enjoy the lifestyle of your wildest dreams.
All right, so what I'm talking about here today is something I have talked about in the past if you've been following me for any period of time, but I have to talk about it again here because I had a student ask me essentially which business model was better, low ticket versus high ticket, and the student was really sold on needing to choose, one specific model, and I want to kind of walk you through the conversation that I had with this student and the thought process that I have when it comes to low ticket versus high ticket, low ticket affiliate marketing versus high ticket affiliate marketing, low ticket coaching and consulting versus high ticket coaching and consulting, etc. Pros and cons, why you need them, and ultimately when they will serve you most. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so one of the biggest things in today's world that I think literally is plaguing every single industry, society as a whole, and just kind of general culture is this intense environment of non-stop polarization. All right, and I completely and totally understand from a branding perspective why people do it, why it's powerful, why it helps your message spread. I understand the benefits of being polarizing. I completely and totally get it. But also we have to understand that there are certain things where it always isn't, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, this is the good way, this is the bad way, this is the absolute, etc. And sometimes there are situations where an and is better than an or. All right, so low ticket or high ticket, or low ticket and high ticket is how I approach it. But that said, let me kind of circle back and give the backstory. So I was working with a student and we had set up their entire campaigns. We had set up their traffic campaigns. We had set up their ads. We were pushing to an offer that was a low ticket offer to begin with. And we're essentially ready to go. We'd been working on this for quite a while. And before we launched, the student hopped on a call with me and essentially broke down that, look, he didn't really want to run to that funnel anymore, to that offer that we were going to run to, because it was low ticket. And I kind of said, all right, well, what's the problem with running it to a low ticket offer when we're running our ads here to start out with? Like, what's the issue? Or, forever for that matter. And it just comes down to, look, he had been through someone else's course, he had gone through someone else's webinar, and they had completely and totally demonized low ticket and just sold him on needing high ticket only and all the different reasons why high ticket only works, etc. And so then he was in this place where, God, I should just completely and totally scrap what we've already done and I should just execute on high ticket, right? Now, I've also had the exact opposite happen. I've had people, set up a high ticket offer and then run it for a little bit, then stop just to go to a low ticket, right? And so there's a couple of things here I want to talk about. Firstly, very rarely is it what you do. All right, one of my mentors constantly preaches to me that it is not what you do, it is how you do it. And so you have successful people out there with low ticket, you have successful people out there with high ticket, and the successful people with low ticket do it very well. The successful people with high ticket do it very well. The reason they're able to do well is because they have mastered skill sets around each of those individual business models, and they've become very good at how they actually execute upon those skill sets. So it's always not as much about, God, which model is best, more about how am I executing on the actual model. Now, when it comes to the actual conversation of the model, what I would say is, again, circling back, it doesn't need to be either or. So this is kind of how I look at it, right? Yes, when it comes to high ticket, it is my personal belief that in today's marketplace, you absolutely do need a high ticket offer, right? Advertising costs have risen so much that if you're trying to make money selling an $100 product, selling a $37 product, selling a $1,000 product even, with today's marketing costs, you're just not gonna make enough money to offset the cost of ads. you'll be spending 1,000, making back 300, spending 1,000, making back 500, etc., unless you do things at a very small scale. And then once you scale up, your numbers will go kind of right to where I'm talking about, right? And so because of the cost of ads, yes, you absolutely need a high ticket backend. And that's where a huge benefit of having a high ticket backend comes into play. Now, from my own personal experience too, a huge benefit of a high ticket backend is that your customers get much more value. All right, so as a product creator, you usually put way more effort, way more energy, way more time into designing a high ticket coaching program, mentorship program, etc. And so they get value from that means. And then also just the very act of investing in a higher ticket program. When someone pulls out their credit card and they invest $30,000 into a program, it essentially gets them more bought into their own business, gets them taking it more seriously, and therefore gets them producing better results. All right, so there are multiple different benefits of high ticket. Now, that said, guess what? Every single one of my traffic campaigns, every single one of my ads that I place to this day and will continue in the future for the time being, as far as I know, they run to a low ticket offer. All right, so how my business model works is I run to a low ticket offer. I create a customer. I essentially get someone to pull out their credit card and buy. When someone pulls out their credit card and buys, that's essentially them voting for you with their credit card. That's showing, you that they trust you, on a micro level. If it's just a $7 offer, let's say, or a $17 or a $37 offer, they're saying, I trust you on a micro level. And what I've found, through all my tests that I've done, is it is infinitely easier to get that person to then give you $10,000, $15,000, $30,000 on the back end once they've invested a little bit on the front end, compared to just taking someone that's totally cold and bringing them to the high ticket offer. All right, metaphorically, that's kind of like saying, hey, you're beautiful, want to marry me? The first time you see a girl, probably wouldn't work very well, right? And so with our business model, again, it is much less an or conversation. Should we do low ticket or should we do high ticket? And it is much more, let's do low ticket and let's do high ticket, and let's have low ticket complement high ticket, and let's have high ticket complement low ticket, and let's have everything ultimately work together. All right, what I want you to understand is what I'm talking about here today. Yes, I'm talking about low ticket versus high ticket, but really what I'm talking about is even a deeper problem when it comes to everything being polarized. And as you go through your journey, when someone says YouTube is better than Facebook, only use YouTube or only use Facebook, you don't always have to look at it through the lens of YouTube or Facebook. You don't need to look at it through the lens of SMS messages or email messages. You can look at it through the lens of how can I use these tools to complement each other to get me closer to my end result, if that's the right formula. So remember, once again, it is not always about or, oftentimes it is about and. With low ticket versus high ticket, that's my exact approach. That's exactly, to be honest, how I would recommend you using both. With that said, I hope you got a ton of value out of this video. As always, if you did, let me know in the comment section below what your biggest takeaway was.